All right, so picture this. You score an invite to a massive celebrity bash.
Yeah, the kind where you're mingling with Hollywood A-listers, music legends, maybe even a famous author or two.
Oh, yeah,
Feels pretty surreal, doesn't it?
definitely. Sign me up.
That's kind of the vibe we're diving into today. We're talking about a party hosted by none other than Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Oh, okay.
But, and this is a big but, this isn't just about the glitz and glamour.
Yeah.
There are some serious accusations swirling around this whole thing.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the deep dive on this one? What makes this party stand out?
So it's not just about who P. Diddy was partying with, though that list is wild, by the way. We're talking DiCaprio, Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, even Salman Rushdie and Donald Trump were apparently there.
Wow, that's quite the guest list. Talk about a mixed crowd.
Right. But the real question is, what does this cocktail of personalities mean if these accusations ever see a courtroom?
Ah, I see. Yeah, you're right. That's a whole other layer. It's one thing to have a party, but with these accusations flying around, this guest list becomes a who's who of potential witnesses.
Exactly. And witness testimony, as you know, can make or break a case like this.
Absolutely, it's crucial. You start thinking about the impact someone like DiCaprio taking the stand could have versus, say, a more divisive figure like Donald Trump.
It's a wild card.
Totally. Suddenly, you're
Mhm.
not just dealing with evidence and facts. You've got public perception, personal histories. It all comes into play.
And then there's the whole other can of worms, the leaked videos from these parties. The source we're looking at doesn't give specifics, but it does hint at some, shall we say, potentially compromising situations involving P. Diddy and some very recognizable faces.
Oh, so we're venturing into even murkier waters now.
Yeah, and this is where I have to admit my curiosity is piqued. What did these videos show? Could they sway the case one way or the other?
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. But honestly, what I find even more intriguing, even more potentially damaging, are the reports of those oil bottles with drugs.
Whoa, okay, yeah, things just took a turn.
Right. That detail, my friend, that's huge. We're not just talking about someone having a good time at a party. This points to something much bigger, much more serious, like possible drug trafficking charges.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely. The stakes just got much, much higher.
Okay, so help me out here because my head's spinning a little bit. How do we go from lavish celebrity parties to accusations of organized crime? How are those two things even remotely connected?
It's a fair question. On the surface, it seems like a stretch, right? But think of it this way. These parties, with all their extravagance, could potentially be a cover for something much shadier. Organized crime thrives on secrecy, on keeping their operations under wraps while generating huge profits. And one way they do that is by blending in, by making their illegal activities look legitimate. So these parties, as glamorous as they seem, could have been a way to facilitate drug distribution, maybe even launder money.
It's a stark contrast, isn't it? You have this dazzling facade of champagne, celebrities, and high-profile mingling, but underneath, there's this potential undercurrent of something much darker and more dangerous.
Exactly. And that's what makes this case so fascinating, so complex.
It's a sobering thought, really. No matter how this plays out, there will be lasting repercussions.
Without a doubt,
I mean, P. Diddy is facing serious accusations and his reputation is on the line.
of course.
And then you have all these guests, these high-profile individuals who are now potentially entangled in this whole mess.
Right, even being associated with something like this can have serious consequences.
It really makes you think, what if you were on that guest list? Knowing what we know now, would you come forward? Would you risk your own reputation, your own safety maybe, to potentially help the case? Or would the pressure to stay silent to protect yourself be too much to bear?
That's a tough one.
It's a reminder that even though we might feel removed from certain events, especially those in the glamorous world of celebrities and high society, the reality is the consequences of those events can ripple outward, impacting the lives of everyday people.